going on, YouTube? It's your boy T-REV. Let's have a little conversation about the Idaho 4. I want to jump straight into it. The topic of conversation is Bryan Kohberger. Bryan Kohberger. Did Bryan Kohberger kill before? Was he a serial killer? They're checking out murders in Pennsylvania per reports, per sources, per everybody is putting out there. Now, I figured they would do that because, when you have 4 deaths in the manner of the way that Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle were killed, they're definitely going to look and see if there was any, incidents in the past that were unsolved, and they're instantly going to try to match that up. So I will be live soon to have this topic of conversation. So get your questions ready, get everything ready, be prepared for a live where we sit down and have conversations. I want to talk to multiple people about what you guys think on the situation. Do you think that Bryan Kohberger possibly killed before? Do you think that he is the person who committed the crimes in Moscow, Idaho? Now, let's jump into it. Speculating, if you haven't heard it from law enforcement, it's not true, but let's jump into it. Let's talk about what my theory is on the Idaho 4. I personally think that Bryan Kohberger is our guy. I personally think that he committed these murders, allegedly. Speculating, I could be wrong. Could there be more involved? Yes. Could it not be him? Could something been planted? Yes. Could there be, we don't know that yet because all the evidence isn't out. Jumping out and talking about it and telling you my theory, just like I listen to everybody else's theories on the phone, I want to tell you what I believe. I believe that Bryan Kohberger found one of these young ladies. He got obsessed with her. He followed out on his fantasy. He had something that he wanted to do. He was set out to follow up on his fantasies, and he did. His fantasy may have not been to be with that woman. It may have been to kill. This is just my theory and what I think. I do not judge everybody else for their theories on thinking he was set up, planted, this, that, and the third. I do not judge you guys. I listen. I have an open mind. I'm always going to listen. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to give everybody else a platform and let you speak. A lot of people keep asking, what is my theory? I'm telling you my theory right now. I do believe Bryan Kohberger is the right guy. I do believe that he committed these murders, allegedly. Everything I'm saying is allegedly, speculating. I do believe that there will be evidence that comes out when you commit a crime of 4 like this. There is going to be so much blood spatter. There's going to be evidence. You don't think when he left that house that he didn't have blood on his clothes, and when he would get into the car, blood would transfer into that car? I don't care how much you clean that car out. You could try to clean it multiple times, but when they light it up with luminol, there is going to be traces of blood in that vehicle, and they will be able to check that. So best believe and get ready for that type of evidence to come forward. Oh, wow, police. I think they do got the right guy, allegedly. I see all these videos and people hitting me up with these theories, and I listen. You know what I mean? I do listen to you guys. People always say, but what do you think? But what do you think? I'm telling you what I think. I think that he stalked them from social media. I think that he knew these victims beforehand, well beforehand. He came up with this obsession and he followed out on his obsession. And that's what I truly believe. People say, why? Why do people kill people all the time? We don't know that. They just go and do it, right? They're psychopaths. They're crazy. They go and do all types of crazy shit. You got teachers that are killing. You got managers that are killing people. You got people that are doing school shootings that never been in trouble with the law. You got people who've been through college all their life and end up being a serial killer. And you got people from the hood that are serial killers. It comes in many different forms. Evil comes in many different forms. Now let's jump into a lot of the things people are talking about. People are breaking down this PCA affidavit and, breaking down this, that, and the third, Bryan's rights and all that. And I get that, right? Because you're innocent till proven guilty in America, no matter what anybody says. But watch what I say. Evidence is going to come forward. And when evidence comes forward, what are a lot of people going to say then? What's going to be your theory then? You know what I mean? Was it going to be that they planted blood in his vehicle from the victims? Like, what is it going to be when it comes down to the evidence coming out? If he committed the murders, right? Allegedly. If evidence comes out like that, I want to know, for all the people who do not believe that Bryan Kohberger did it, if blood comes back in the vehicle, blood comes back on some of the clothing, fibers come back, all that shit comes back, what are people going to say then? Are you going to still, continue to make conspiracy videos? Are you going to continue to believe that he's an innocent man? I play by the cards. If I'm wrong on what I'm saying, I will own up to me being wrong about my theory on the Idaho 4. I'm just saying in general, we have have to have our own voice. We can't just listen to Johnny, Bobby, April, and Marie on their opinions and then follow their narrative because that's what they promote on their channel, right? We can't do that. We have to come up with our own opinion. After seeing everything that I've seen, I've came up with my own opinion. My opinion's been my opinion for a minute. You know, I could never, ever, ever tell you why somebody killed someone in case they admitted the exact point on why they did it. I just don't think that's going to happen here. Let's jump into some things that Bryan said. Bryan said, has anybody else been arrested? Now that makes people think there's other people involved. I think it's a cat and mouse game. Other people think there is other people involved. Bryan Kohberger, Fry, and Payne, and Gunderson, and the Wilsons, Roy Wilson, Nathan Wilson, you know, allegedly speculating. I'm not saying these people are involved. I'm just saying what people are talking about. People are saying the evidence points towards the police and the evidence points towards that. I just don't, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. Show me the receipt. You know what I mean? Show me what you see. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's seen the body cam footage. Nobody's heard the 911 call. Nobody knows what they have sitting in the evidence bag, wherever it's at this point. Nobody knows these things. We are all speculating and talking about things that we think. And I respectfully disagree with everybody on certain things, and you may respectfully disagree with me on certain things. That shouldn't cause us to argue, hate one another, or anything like that. We should all be able to sit down, have a healthy conversation, and keep spreading awareness about the bad things that we see go on in the true crime world, especially, which is, you know, what do we cover? Murders, missing kids, and families that are just devastated because somebody's missing from home, whether it be their kid, their loved one, it could be wife, uncle, sister, cousin. We cover these topics. We talk about these topics because we like seeing people get justice. You know what I mean? A lot of people just always wish negative, 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 right? There's a lot of dark in the world right now. A lot of dark. We got to bring light. And that's what my platform is for, to bring light, not dark, negativity, bullshit. I'm here to try to spread the word on anything that I possibly can spread the word on. The Idaho 4 case has stuck with me for a while. It's going to stick with me forever. It's impacted me majorly in a lot of different ways. It's got me reporting a lot different. You know, I used to never report on true crime. I would just watch it. I would just watch true crime. Now I'm reporting on different things. I'm studying cases. I'm looking at evidence. I'm looking at autopsies. I'm looking at different things. We haven't seen any of that when it comes to the Idaho 4. We haven't seen any autopsies. The only things that we've seen is the things that they collected off Bryan Kohberger. We don't know what they got out of his apartment or dad's house and mom's house. We don't know what they got out of his car. We don't know if there was any blood in the vehicle. We don't know if they found the knife. We don't know any of that. Why? Because there's a gag order right now. And we're not going to get that information until it gets very close to time to the trial or the trial in general. Now, could some things come out in June? Possibly. I turned on a clip last night. News Nation, Chris Cuomo, whatever you want to call him, was talking with Jennifer Coffindorfer and one other guy who was a defense lawyer or whatever it is past. And they were talking about Pennsylvania investigating, you know, we got Pennsylvania investigating and see if he, you know, is a serial killer. Well, when you have a crime of passion committed against 4 people like this with a K-bar knife or just a knife in general, this is a gruesome crime that involves a lot of blood. Okay. There's a lot of blood transfer. They weren't shot. They weren't, you know what I mean? They weren't shot with guns. They were stabbed up close and personal. So for people to think that there wouldn't be any evidence at all anywhere, wake up. Do you watch Forensic Files? Do you watch The First 48? Do you watch anything around you to up your knowledge in what happens in true crime or murder investigations from detectives, from the forensic part all the way down to the investigating? I'm just saying, let's wake up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, because some people just turn a blind eye to all of that. They turn a blind eye to these investigations. They really do. And it's crazy when I see that. When people don't consider the evidence that may be there, instead they go off and talk about a whole bunch of different things. But when you bring up what evidence may possibly be there, wait till the evidence comes out. That's why I think the way that I do, seeing all these different murder cases, and I'm talking about up close and personal type murder cases where there's a lot of blood transfer. It takes a lot of strength to go ahead and just start stabbing 4 different people. And then you got 2 in each room. To think when you start stabbing one won't wake up. Then the struggle begins. People aren't thinking about shit like that. So you got to think about crimes of this magnitude, what type of force it involves, and stuff like that. That's all I'm trying to bring aware to people who are, I get people that call and email me all the time. That's one thing that they don't think about. I bring it up to them. I'll say, yeah, well, when I responded to my email, I'll be like, well, you got to wait till the evidence because of this is a stabbing. There's going to be a lot of blood involved and transfer. Oh, T-REV, I didn't even think of that. Thank you. I didn't even think about that. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to spread a light on the possibilities. If Bryan Kohberger really committed these murders, let me get down to the bottom of this. If Bryan Kohberger really committed these murders, he would have transferred blood from his clothing, outfit, whatever the he was wearing, into his vehicle. Without a shadow of a doubt, he would have transferred blood. Now, people say, well, there's no blood at the crime scene. There's no this and that. They said it was so bloody. All of that is hidden, and it's going to continue to be hidden. So just, I just wanted to talk to you guys about my theory, what I think. Also, is Bryan a serial killer? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think Bryan Kohberger is a serial killer? Allegedly, speculate. We don't know that. But do we think that? Do you think that? Me personally, I possibly think he's killed before. Yes. I do. I didn't before, but now I do. After thinking about the magnitude of these crimes, I think he has before. Now, if it came out that something was planted and it wasn't him or he had help, I'll say I was wrong. I have no problem. I was wrong for a long time accusing Jack D. Allegedly speculating on Jack D. I was wrong. Don't be afraid to say you were wrong. That's what's wrong with people. Everybody always wants to be right. If I'm wrong about what I'm saying right now, I'll say it straight up. On the air, live, on the phone, conversating. Hey, it is what it is, man. It's your boy T-REV. I just wanted to talk to you guys about what I've seen on the serial killer aspect of it and just my theory in general, because a lot of you guys email me asking me what is my theory. I hear everybody else, what is your theory? I get tagged on Twitter, what is your theory? I get tagged on Instagram, what is your theory? I get messages on Facebook, what is your theory? This is my theory. This is what I think. And also about him being a serial killer, allegedly, possibly. Wait till that evidence comes out. That's what I'm waiting for. The evidence, if he committed these murders like the courts say he did, there's going to be evidence to back that up. Wait for it. Anyways, guys, I love you. I'm out.
Every day I wake up, it's another person that's dead, and YouTube has to solve it because the law is filling kids. I'm disgusted at the evil in the end, and if you connect the dots, you'll see the vision in your head. Why do people die as victim to the streets? They wonder why I'm up all night and can't sleep. I'll be the voice for everyone who can't speak. L.E. failed Kylie, and now Sammy is free.